G'day, hope you guys are all having a good one. Today's video, well, I got a request on somebody asking me how to export your terrain from GeoGen, and I'm like, I'm not too sure if I've even covered this, to be honest. So, I guess today's quick video, I'm going to be talking about how you do that. I'm only going to be explaining in Blender, how to like set it up in Blender. But I think they're all pretty similar, with some minor discrepancies between different DCC programs and whatnot. So yeah. To start with, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag out a model. You can use height maps. I find I get personally better results using the models, whether that's something that I'm doing wrong or not is, I don't know, but that's just my personal findings really. So yeah, we're gonna go, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show how I personally get better results personally, and better performance and whatnot. But starting off with, you do have this reduction, so it will reduce the amount of like polygons and stuff like that. So think of this sort of like being similar to these here. So, you know, if we were running 4K and I exported, oh, actually, that might be a good example actually anyway. If I was running this in 4K and I reduce it by 4, then the amount of polygons that we're going to have is going to just be like a 1K. So I guess it actually might make more sense. I was recording this earlier and I'm like, actually, it might make more sense running it at 4K anyway by base and reducing it. So the reason of doing this is it's just going to run a whole lot better, right? You're going to have a heap more, maybe, so I think by 1K, you know, no more reduction over 1K, I was getting around 1 million polygons. So that's still quite a lot. You may want to be reduced even more than that if you're having a heap of terrains in the scene. But at the same time, like, if you're having a hero asset, maybe 1 million is fine. Maybe you want to go up to like 30 million or something, which is kind of crazy. But for a super high quality terrains, you're probably going to want something pretty crazy like that. We are going to export the normal map, and we want the normal map at 4K, okay? So it's fine to have reduced resolution because we're going to get some of those details back with the normal map. So make sure to select the directory. I probably won't need to worry about that normal folder. Now I'm going to also export the color here. Just make sure to select your directory. I'm going to name this one color, so I know what it is. You can go 8 or 16. I haven't found the biggest difference between, like, there's an obvious difference. There's significantly more detail in the 16, but I don't believe you get a significantly better result as opposed to doing 16-bit textures in regards to height maps, where you're going to get crazy banding being on 8-bit. So from here, I'm just going to export the color at 4K. Then I'm going to quickly export the normal and I guess the FBX, which have both been done, both been completed. So yeah, if you run a 4K, for example, just straight 4K, I think I was getting around 300 megabytes. Maybe it's 400 megabytes. So irrelevant, you're going to get significantly higher file sizes as well. So once again, just performance-wise, you may be getting better results. Not like literal, like physically better results, but it's just going to run a whole lot better. And then, you know, both our colors and stuff will be running at 4K, and we can get all that detail back with these, which is nice and easy. So from here, we can go open up Blender, import our FBX. I do have an HDRI already set up in here. Wait for it to load. As you're going to see, we get some weird clipping. You can change this by going into View, changing the camera clip. Alternative, which is what I like doing when I'm just working on a single terrain, I often just scale it down to the point where it's not going to clip weirdly. Instead of having to guess, I mean, I could just set this to like 10,000 meters instead of 1,000, but it's fine. So we're getting a pretty good result already. This is just by default. 1K, so we're around that 1 million, which is fine. You're still getting decent performance. And from here, I would recommend being in cycles instead of Eevee. You are going to get better results. And if you are doing height maps and stuff, I don't know if Eevee supports it. I think it depends on which version of Blender you're on. But yeah, from here, just going to click new, add a new one. I've obviously been doing a bit in the, the recordings here. But let's go color and normal map, even though it's named untitled. Import them. And the color. Oh, I guess I'll show off the normal. I will be honest. So, oops. The normal map is going to be kind of like at the start. I mean, you get it. There are some like weird things. I'm not actually too sure what causes that, but it's just something that I've noticed in Blender. But you run a normal map strength. Or normal map, sorry. Instead of shoving it into there, you can run the it into color. Then here you can adjust the intensity of the normal map. So as you can see here, those details that are kind of like sort of get shifted away, you can bring them out heavily with this normal map, and stuff that, you know, you see here, we get all these details here that aren't really visible by default. So that's a great way of getting that detail back. The alternative would be, well, not really alternative, but if I were to show, I quickly exported another one of just a 1K. So this is just a 1K normal map. You'll sort of see how, you know, this is actually giving you a much better result. If I, oops, unplug that. Oh, come on. So by default, this is just the normal map here, the 1K. I mean, it's going to give you an alright result. Go normal. I mean, if I go normal map color, if I can, we just use strength again, and then just plug the color in because I can't be bothered. Oops, not IOR. That's going to give a bad result. Normal map here. I mean, you're going to see like you do still get like an enhanced result here, but I think it's quite a big difference going from there to something like that, where you're going to get much more refined result. So yeah, that's how you can sort of fake a lot of the details while running a pretty performant terrain. You know, you're not really going to notice a lot of that unless you're overly looking out for it. As long as you have like enough polygons to work with, that being like about 1 million, I'd go, depending on what you want to work with and depending on the distance, 500,000 would still even work. And then we can plug in our base color. And as you can see, we got our well, terrain. So, you know, going from Blender to GeoGen, back to Blender. Yeah, pretty great result. You can obviously play around with, you know, your HDRI, which HDRI you're using. You know, you can adjust, you know, where it's coming from. You can always do stuff like the roughness is a little bit weird, so like bumping up roughness and, you know, playing around with some stuff here. If that fits, add some trees, add some, you know, fog and whatnot to really refine the result. But yeah, at the end of the day, that's how you export a terrain from GeoGen and import, you know, everything that you probably need. I'd say that's a pretty good result that I've gotten, and yeah, you can do that with pretty much everything out of GeoGen. But yeah, hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully, you know, that's kind of the result that you're after, and yeah, have a good one. We'll catch you next time. See yous.